Hey, what is up, you guys? So today Funko was starting to reveal some NYCC pops for this year, and there's quite a lot, so let's just get right into it. Obviously, one of my favorites, Marvel. First, we have the original Captain Marvel, or Marvel, that will be shared with Walgreens. Then we get a comic book version of Nick Fury, which will be shared with GameStop. Next, we get the original Miss Marvel, which will be shared with the Funko Shop. Next, we get Stan Lee in his space outfit from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 that will be shared with Walmart. Then we get a Pop T bundle of Dark Phoenix from the X-Men that will be shared with GameStop. And finally, last but not least, we get the man, Iron Man, Tony Stark with the Iron Gauntlet from Endgame that will be shared with Amazon. Well, not much to say here, but they finally did it. They made Iron Man with the Iron Gauntlet. Well, sort of. I mean, yeah, he has it, but it's not exactly what we would have thought. We would have probably wanted him better on his knees and snapping, but this is good enough. I will most likely get this. As for the others, I don't really care too much about them. I do kind of like the Stan Lee. Not sure if I'll get it, though. Not super fond of the, Stan Lee cameo pops. If they make a FedEx driver one, that might be one I get, but all the other ones have just been kind of eh. I have the patina one and the gold one, so I feel like those are good enough. The Dark Phoenix also looks pretty cool, but it would have to, see it in person. They would have to execute it pretty well. On the glam, it looks okay, but who knows how it'll look. I would hope that it would be like translucent, but I doubt it. I'm not sure if it's glow in the dark or anything, but I feel like it should be. Next, we have a few different pops of some people. First is Debbie Harry. Next, we get the author Edgar Allan Poe. And lastly, for a couple artist pops, we have Jean Mitchell Besquate and then also Keith Haring. So nothing interests me here. Like all of these people except for Edgar Allan Poe, I have no idea who they are, so I had to actually look them up in order to understand like what they do or what they've done or whatever. So I didn't know if they were artists or if they were, music artists or whatever. So yeah, I had to look it up and make sure. So yeah, no real interest for me here, but there's no word on where these are going to be shared. So once I find out where they are going to be shared, I will have an update video later. Moving on to movies, we have some Scott Pilgrim items, and they are 5-star figures of Scott Pilgrim, Knives Chow, and Ramona Flowers. From Jay and Silent Bob, we have their characters Bluntman and Chronic in a 2-pack. And then next we have Fade Rotha from Dune. Then we have a Killer Clown from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Then from Back to the Future, we have Martin McFly in his hazmat suit. And finally, from 2001: A Space Odyssey is Dr. Frank Poole. So a pretty interesting lineup with movies. Some of these I haven't really heard of. Obviously I've heard of Back to the Future in 2001. I haven't seen Jay and Silent Bob, but obviously I'm aware of it. I do recall seeing those characters before, them dressed up as their own little characters. I think that's pretty funny. I do like Kevin Smith's character because it looks like sort of a Batman type of thing, with his little ears there. I think that's pretty funny. Pretty interesting that they have like a little weed insignia there that that's probably the first time we've had that on a pop, so that will be interesting. But the Killer Clown from Outer Space, I've never heard of that, and honestly this is probably the most creepiest pop ever made. Definitely want to stay away from this. I don't want to be anywhere near this pop, needless to say. But yeah, so nothing truly in interest here. Like I said, Bluntman's kind of cool, but I don't think I would ever have anything like that in my collection. But I do think their little costumes are funny there. And again, I don't know where these are going to be shared, so once I find out that information, I will definitely share that with you guys. Moving on to television, we have from HR Pufnstuf. And then also Witchy Poo, what? And they're all going to be shared with Toy Tokyo. For some Hanna-Barbera, we have Clyde and Professor Pat from Wacky Races. Next from Community, we have Brita. From Doctor Who, we get Tim Shaw. We're also getting another 2-pack of Green Hornet and Kato. And finally, from Game of Thrones, we get Miss Sandy.
So not much to talk about here either, but it's cool that Funko is still continuing the Wacky Races line, and it seems like they're doing every single racer, so that's cool. The community character, this, is pretty basic. I mean, a lot of, TV shows of characters like these or whatever, where they just look boring. They don't really seem recognizable, so yeah, it's kind of plain. And then, of course, we have another Green Hornet and Kato 2-pack. It just does not make any sort of sense of why they keep milking this. I don't know. Is it really this popular, or is it just because the past couple times they released them, nobody ever seemed to get them because they were Toy Tokyo releases? And I don't know if this is also Toy Tokyo, or if it's going to be a common, or, well, not common, but if it's going to be from a retailer. I don't know.
Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully I can see you tomorrow for day 2. I'm trying to keep up on these. We'll see. Gets pretty busy around where I am, so we'll see. But yeah, let me know what your guys' favorites are. I think my favorite so far has got to be the Iron Man and possibly the Stanley. We'll see. But yeah, so we'll see what we have for tomorrow. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.